Hi everyone and good morning. Thank you for joining me today. I'm here with something very exciting. Actually, it's the launch of my ephemera packs that I will be selling on Etsy. Now, I'm crazy about ephemera, especially since starting to do, junk journals, altered books, etc. I've always had an interest in the past and history and people. Just always had a passion, but recently I've kind of got very addicted to vintage things, ephemera, etc. Now I spend most of my weekends going to collectors fairs, car boots, charity shops, old bookshops, you name it, to find as much interesting ephemera as I can. But I know that, some of you at home haven't got the luxury of being able to do that, don't have the time on your hands, etc. So what I've done is I've actually made some packs. This is pack number 1, and put together some of the bits and pieces so that you've got a little bit of sort of everything. So most of my packs will have, for instance, some old book pages, some old linens, so lace, maybe buttons, old photographs, old ephemera. Every pack will be different as to what we put in there. Now, this one is kind of bursting at the seams already. And excuse me, I couldn't get any more in here. So let me show you this pack that I have put together for you. Now, I have actually decorated an envelope for you. I could have just put it in a plain old envelope, but it just wasn't good enough. So I have decorated this envelope and put this lovely, beautiful lady on here. And this is, some of my vintage lace that I have managed to find, and flowers, and just some lovely trim and old book pages. This is from Shakespeare, actually, from I think a 1932 book on there. So even the packaging you can use somehow. So let me show you what's in here. Now, what I'm going to do, let me pull it all out. Got to be very careful because there is some very old things in here. Okay, so this is what is in this first pack. So if we go through the kind of linen things first, so let me just put those to one side for a moment. These are the linens that you get, and these are just some bits and pieces that I have picked up on my travels. So we have this piece here, which you could make quite a few little tags from that, or however you want to use it. It's entirely up to you. Now, some of this might not be as old as the other. It's just some things that I have collected. Some of it is quite old, actually. This is just a piece of nice lace. And then we have some, I think it's embroidery anglais, isn't it? And I know that this was quite old because this came with, and it smells old as well. So I do apologise if some of this does smell a bit old. So there's quite a nice piece of that. Excuse me, you have, I don't think this is overly old. But it's just beautiful. It was just in a lot of lace that I bought. And then you have these lovely flowers. So I've put a little collection of these flowers in there for you. And these smell really kind of musty and that. And then we have a beautiful, I'll leave those threads on, motif there. That's beautiful. I love that. And some almost like fern sort of flowers, and these came from quite an old quite a lot of old things that I picked up, and you can see they're kind of marked a little bit, but adds to the vintage of it. And this is very old. Excuse me. And the lady I bought this off, her mother was a is it a tailoress? And she used to, you know, make dresses in the 1920s, I believe. And sorry, I think it was her mother's mum, so her nan, sorry, used to make dresses in the 1920s, and this was kept. So yeah, and this piece as well came from the same lady. It's just beautiful. Look at that. And that is old and discoloured and gorgeous. Look at that. Nice lovely bit to use, and that probably would go down the spine or however you want to use that. And this again, this was for another lady, and this is hand crocheted, this one. And then I have some, I don't think these are particularly overly old, but you could, you know, vintage these up. Excuse me. I have an old handkerchief, just a very pretty hanky there, and a napkin. This is beautiful. I love these. I got a set from a lady, and these are just beautiful, and the fabric is just lovely on these, just gorgeous. And then another napkin, which is just, look at that. And it's quite big, so, you know, you could use this and then use this fabric. Excuse me. So those are the linens and laces that you get. And then, excuse me, there are some vintage stamps in here. And these are, I think, about 1928, somewhere around there. These are French vintage stamps for you to use on your projects. So we've got a few of those. And then I have a pack of just some vintage buttons as well. So there are some vintage buttons there for you to use on your projects, I should say. Some lovely vintage buttons. Now, this is, for me, I mean, I love all the fabric and everything, but I also love, let's go through the book pages first that we've got here. And we have some pages from a Jane Austen book, and this was Emma, and I think this was 19, I'm not sure how old this one is, to be honest with you, I can't remember, but these are pages from a Jane Austen book. This one is from a child's lesson book, and this was from 1906, I think, something like that, and it has some gorgeous rubber dub, 6 men in a tub, the rat is on the mat, the cat is in my hat, bad fun is that, reading in a 12-month. So this is a kids reading book, and look, I just love how it is. Ox go on, lo I go on, so go on, so on I go. Just lovely, love it. Then some old street maps. Don't know how old this is, but they just look old, just very aged. And some flower images from a little flower book and a bird book. So you have some bird images there. So there are some book pages there. And this is the pack I know that you're going to love. The Ephemera, really old Ephemera. Now this, I love this. Now, these little characters here are Victorian decoupage little cutouts that used to go on Christmas cards and things. And just look how gorgeous these are. They are just gorgeous. Love them, love them, love them. I'm quite sad to see these little fellas go. Look how beautiful they are. And then, look at this. Motor car. It's a motor fuel ration book. And look. You used to have to ration your petrol. So these little ration vouchers here. There's a whole book of them for you to use. I just thought that these would be so much fun. And there's quite a few in there. So that is just, I love it. And then we have, it's an old postcard. British United Airways, the world's first hover coach. So I'm not sure what year that was, but interesting. I have some old photos as well. Look at these. Jolly man. And this lovely family, look. And then there's a gorgeous one of a little girl there. Then we have a, this is, I guess, a school award thing. And it says, presented to Peggy Milner by the Congregational Sunday School for regular attendance, 1932. Cool. And then we have a telegram, and this is from 1943. And I think someone got married, because I had a couple of these in a pack, and it says, heartiest congratulations, Uncle Bert and Auntie Sadie. How lovely. Oh my gosh. I mean, can you imagine having to communicate like that? 5 telegrams, £10. 1943. Oh, I think that's what I paid. Sorry. I was reading that out. 5 telegrams, £10. Sorry. That's what I paid. But, yes, look. How gorgeous is that? Love it. Just love it. Heartiest congratulations, Uncle Bert and Auntie Sadie. Oh, just delicious. So that is the ephemera pack and the assortment in this one. I've tried to, you know, put quite a bit of variety in there for you. And this will be listed on my Etsy shop. Just have a look in the description box below. So there you go. I've got to get it all back in the pack now and do it all up nice and neatly. I don't know how I got it all in now, look. So I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I hope that, you know, this is something that will interest you all. I have other packs to show you, but I've got quite a busy day with my grandsons today, so I'm off to the Steam Museum. So they're going to enjoy that, because it's still school holidays, and the girls had their day last week, so it's the boys this week. So I'm busy, busy, busy. So love you all loads, and I shall see you all very, very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.